Hey, welcome to the Living Yoga series. My name is Darren, and today we're going to be talking about intimacy and how yoga can deepen intimacy. So, intimacy is something everybody wants, and if you don't believe me, just go walk down a bookstore, the self-help aisle. Every other book is for couples to have more intimate relationships, for parents and children, more harmony with coworkers. You name it, family dynamics, or people are looking for more and more intimacy, and yet it remains pretty elusive. There's always a new book around the corner. And so the question is, how can yoga and meditation help us achieve greater intimacy in our personal relationships? A few years ago, I was having breakfast with my son, and I was trying desperately to get him out the door to go to school. And he was not really cooperating, as is often the case. And I was going to be late for work, and I was getting more and more and more frustrated. Hurry up, eat, I was busy and I needed to move, and I had an agenda that he wasn't cooperating with. And he just sort of looked at me, and he stopped, and he said, "Daddy, can I hold your hand?" It's like, fine. I gave him my hand, and he wrapped his little hand around mine, and he said, "Daddy, I'm filling your heart with love because it's feeling pretty empty right now." And the truth is, he was absolutely right. And it wasn't that I didn't love my son. My son is the greatest joy of my heart. The problem was that I was so busy that I wasn't taking time to experience that love. So it wasn't a question of love or not love. It wasn't like I suddenly stopped loving him because I was busy. I was just too busy to realize it. And so this is where yoga comes into play. If you look at your relationships, your friendships, your romantic relationships, the relationship you have with your children, and you're feeling a lack of intimacy, it's not that you don't love them. It's not that you don't have deep feelings for them. It's that you're too busy to experience those feelings. Intimacy is the opposite of what the ego wants for us, because intimacy, by definition, is the breaking down of those perceived barriers that we have. The more intimate I am with you, the harder it is for my ego to maintain that false belief in separation that yoga seeks to address. So it does this in two basic ways. The primary way is through fear. In the case of my having breakfast with my son, I was afraid I wasn't going to get to work on time. I was afraid that I was going to get fired, or I was going to be embarrassed showing up to teach a yoga class late, that he was going to be late for school and I wouldn't look good in front of the other parents, the parent dragging the kid in late. It was lots and lots of fear. And then that fear was coded in the second thing, and that is busyness. We keep our lives busy, 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 and when we're not physically busy running from place to place, our minds are kept busy. So that constant stream of busyness is to mask the fear, and the fear is to shield us from true intimacy with ourselves and intimacy with others. When we practice yoga, what we're doing is we are stilling the turning of thought. That's a direct quote from the Yoga Sutras. Yoga aims at stilling the turning of thought. It stills that busyness. And when you still that busyness, the busyness here, which is then reflected in how we structure our lives, when we still that, intimacy magically happens. You look at someone and you, instead of feeling frustration that they're getting in your way of getting all this important stuff done, and you start to see them as someone that is just there to fill your heart. And the result is your relationship with your children is better, the sex is better, the dinners with family are better, you name it. And anything that intimacy, however you express intimacy in your life, is enhanced because you practice yoga, because you practice meditation. So if I had some homework for you, I would suggest that you develop a daily practice of 5 or 10 minutes a day of meditation or yoga, in addition to what you're already doing. And just notice at the end of a week how intimate your interactions were with your loved ones. Was it a time filled with greater love, greater caring, or were you just as busy as before? I think that you will see that the intimacy just showed up because you got out of the way. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can visit us at our website, which is thelivingyogaseries.com, or you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And finally, if you have questions that you would like me to address in this video series, be sure to leave a comment below.